Professional wrestling fans call it a sport. Critics call it a show. But whether you see it as an athletic contest or a soap opera, wrestlers will tell you that until you've stepped into the squared circle in the middle of the arena, you won't understand what it's all about. Next, we'll talk to three men who have entered this world of personality cults, hype, and big money that attracts more fans worldwide than professional basketball and football combined.
Dutch Savage, a legend in professional wrestling. A man once known as the Scourge of Canada and the Dutchman. Both hated and loved by his fans, he fought his way to the top in a tough business.
You ready? Come on, let's go for a walk. You want to go see what we're going to do?
Now retired and living on a ranch near Woodland, Washington, Savage has had time to reflect on a career that began when he was only a couple years out of college. His brother got him started.
He was kind enough to get me my very first match in Macon, Georgia, and I wrestled a guy, must have been 7,000 years old. His name was Al Spider Galeno. Had little tiny flamingo legs on him, a pot belly, cauliflowered ears, and there I was, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Mr. Super Person. Wow, I can lick this guy. Well, the bell rang, and all I saw was ring lights, canvas. Ring lights. The man was using me for a lawnmower.
Now, looking back on the years of wrestling that followed, Savage says that he learned something during the first match that stuck with him and kept him going ticket after ticket.
I couldn't even get out of the ring. I was exhausted. I was embarrassed. I wanted to go hide. I wanted my mommy. And that was on a Tuesday night. Friday morning, I got my check for those 8 minutes work. I made over $700. And I said, well, there's got to be something to this. I better get in shape. That's how I got started.
Savage's career, which ended in 1977, took him all over the world. He won regional, sectional, U.S., and world titles. Savage remembers well some of his opponents because he says they left their mark on him.
Bull Ramus, 340-pound Apache. That's why my back is all messed up right now because of the bull. Made a lot of money with him. For 7 years here, we sold out every arena in the Northwest, up and down the coast. Andre the Giant, bless his heart. You asked me a question a while ago, did you have any trouble wrestling the Giant? Well, I had a lot of trouble. He hadn't any trouble at all with me. I just, please, Mr. Giant, don't kill me. Just do whatever you're going to do and let me get out of here.
Savage says that people who doubt that wrestling is a painful profession should talk to him. His retirement is one of recuperation.
I will say if I had to do it over again, I'd never do it, unless I just worked in the promotional end, period.
Savage is irritated by those who think wrestling is all show.
They have no idea what it's like. They might go down and sit at ringside every night and watch every single match, and they may form an opinion of what they think it's all about, but they've never been in there. Now, we are professional people at breaking up bodies for a living. I can take both of your cameramen now. I'm 50 years old, and we can go out in the yard. I want to see either one of them get me off my feet without getting hurt. They won't hurt me, but I guarantee you I'll hurt them because I know how to do it, and very easily. It doesn't take strength.
Jimmy Afi and Bobby Jaggers are on the circuit today. Afi, the son of a Samoan chief, learned the tricks of the trade from his father, who was a well-known international wrestler. He plans to continue his career for a while longer, despite the fact that he has had a back injury.
A guy suplexed me and it cracked my disc, and I had to drive 100 miles to take the guys that I took with me, and I had to drive myself to the hospital, and I was almost paralyzed for a month.
Bobby Jaggers is waiting to have plastic surgery after retiring to get rid of thousands of stitches in his forehead. The last of many injuries happened when he was hit by an opponent with his own championship belt.
This isn't just one instance. This is 11 years of wrestling. Yeah, there's over 10,000 stitches up there. This has all happened from like cage matches, people carrying brass knuckles and chains into the ring, bull rope matches, dog collar chain matches, chairs, many chairs. I've been hit in the head with more chairs than people have sat on.
If professional wrestlers are willing to subject their bodies to what they say is more than the average amount of abuse, it's probably due to two things, says Dutch Savage: money and prestige. A man wrestling 7 days a week year-round can earn between $40,000 and $400,000. And the kind of image a wrestler develops adds to the hype.
It's a psychological phenomenon. Now, when I came down out of British Columbia, I was a scourge of Canada. Man, you mentioned my name, they'd want to lynch you and burn the arena down.
you know, maybe back in my first life, Bobby Jaggers was a gunfighter. I don't know, you know. Maybe he was just an old ranch hand, you know, I don't know, but it's just something that's inside of Bobby Jaggers that comes out, and it's something that, that the fans enjoy, and I enjoy, and it's just, it's a hard thing to describe.
I've even been to supermarkets sometimes years ago when everybody used to hate me. I had guys throw cans down the aisles at me while I was walking around trying to shop. I had my kid with me.
As far as hanging on to big money that comes with notoriety, many wrestlers blow all that they make. But Afi has a system.
When I get home, the first thing my wife said, give me the check. And she's the one that give me my allowance, so, so that she makes sure that the money is kept away, you know, safe.
Many wrestlers average 150,000 miles a year in a car on the circuit, not to mention plane travel all over the world for some.
And nothing is worse than a hotel room. I don't care if it's in Duluth, Iowa, or where, but it's nothing worse than a hotel room.
If wrestlers have families, it helps to stabilize their lives, but for others, the lifestyle is too much. Dutch Savage says he couldn't cope with the stress, the money, or the fame.
Come on. Here you go, girls. With prestige and notoriety and 25 cents, you can get a cup of coffee at a cheap restaurant.
Savage says that drinking and drug abuse, which started the second year of his career, nearly ruined his life.
I used to have beer when I was younger because I used to tell myself, well, it'll never happen to me. I'll never become addicted. I'll never become an alcoholic. Who cares anyway? But it was the furthest thing from my mind. And all of a sudden, I became an alcoholic. Total, unadulterated alcoholic. I used to drink on the average about 2 gallons of white wine per day.
Now the ranch is a haven for him where he's starting over again. He's building a volunteer career helping kids to avoid what he went through with alcoholism and drug addiction. Every week he visits schools and talks to young people who he says thank him for his efforts.
All I can do when I come to your schools is give you the facts as I know them and what I've learned. Remember when I first came here, I told you that I was a full-blown drug addict at one time? I took all kinds of drugs. Well, I paid the price for taking those drugs because my body's been ruined by them. I still stutter occasionally to this day, very badly. I'll start stuttering real bad because of what the marijuana has done to me, did to my brain, damaged my brain. Marijuana is a little green leafy plant. It's called, its technical name is cannabis, the cannabis plant. How many of you can say cannabis?
Afi and Jaggers, still a long way from retirement, say Savage is both a great past champion and a great man. And when the time comes to leave the ring, they hope that they can do it with the grace and purpose of the Dutchman. Afi wants to go into law enforcement, and Jaggers says he may settle for a home by a good steelhead hole. But no matter where they go, they say they won't soon forget what it was like in the squared circle.
Of our main event goes to Bobby Jaggers over Mike Miller.
By the way, our camera crew on that story considered the offer from Dutch Savage to meet him out in the front yard. They, not surprisingly, declined.